On NFL rosters, of course, you have the superstars, the Jeffersons, the Dalvins, the Brian O'Neills, the Danielle Hunters, the Eric Kendrickses, as well as the Harrison Smiths of the world. But you need everyone contributing, whether you're the first guy on the roster or the 53rd or on the practice squad or in camp on the 90th. You need to contribute to the team, and the team needs everyone to be pulling in the right direction. So here are 5 sleeper contributors for the Minnesota Vikings this season. Guys that you may not have heard of, not household names, but have a chance to make the squad, or at least the practice squad, maybe make a little damage this season for the Vikings. First one you've heard of. So defensive end. Yes, new position, Armand for Watts. Contract year, he came in as a late round pick coming out of Arkansas, and at Arkansas, he never really got the time of day under Brett Bielema. He really was a one-year wonder, but has played phenomenal in limited usage for the Vikings. Really stepped up last season, playing primarily nose tackle. He had 33 pressures and 5 sacks. Now he's lining up at defensive end, at 5 tech, as the Vikings are shifting more to a 3-4 defense. So I think that this is a golden opportunity for him, because I think that he's obviously solid against the run. I think that his pass rushing has been underrated, and now he will have even more of an opportunity to, his primary job is to absorb tackles and tight ends and allow guys like Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith as stand-up outside linebackers to rush the passer. Yes, for sure. But he will still be able to get his in terms of rushing the passer. And I could see Armand having a Shelby Harris type role in Ed Donatell's defense. Shelby Harris, of course, a great defensive end for the Denver Broncos. So I'm really excited for Watts, because I think that he has a chance to really get the bag and contribute for the Vikings this season. Next up, sleeper contributor number 2 for the Vikings, wide receiver Tristan Jackson. Now, we've alluded to Jackson a little bit, because I do like his game. He was a 2020 UDFA out of Syracuse, 6'1", $191. His final year for the Orange Men, he put up 66 catches, 1,023 yards receiving, 11 touchdowns in 2019. And Jackson was a UDFA picked up by the Rams, and he spent a year on their practice squad in 2020. So he had a year with Kevin O'Connell. He had a year with Wes Phillips, and he was picked up midseason by the Vikings last year, and was retained on the 90-man roster, even with Kwesi coming in. And at Vikings OTAs at minicamp, he's even gotten some big opportunities. He's been really primarily running with the 2s, and he's gotten some chances to run with the 1s when ISM as well as KJ Osborne were being held out of practice. So it's obvious that the coaching staff likes Tristan Jackson. He does have some experience adjacent with what they want to do. Of course, Kevin O'Connell coming over from the McVay system, an offense that he helped design. So I think Jackson, he already has an edge up on verbiage. He already has an edge up on concepts, and he's a talented player. And I wouldn't be shocked if he makes the roster as a wide receiver 6, wide receiver 5 or 6, plays some special teams, and maybe even gets into the mix. Next up, number 3 sleeper contributor for the Vikings this season, offensive tackle Blake Branden. Now, the Vikings already are set at tackle. Brian O'Neill is one of the best right tackles in the game. Christian Darrisaw, with a full offseason, should rise up and become one of the future left tackle superstars. But swing tackle is important, man. And as we've seen, a guy that can back up as well as maybe play some heavy package, a 6 offensive lineman tight end role. Yes, Blake Branden can do that. Now, in previous years, it had been Rashad Hill, but he's gone. I think Blake Branden is going to step up into that role as that swing tackle. Plus, he played 64 snaps last year at tight end. It was a big reason why the Vikings were able to get the power running game going when 64 was on the field. And I think Branden does have a chance in year 3 to really establish himself as a top-tier backup on this team. He'll be active on every game day and even get involved, because last year, the Rams offense, they did have quite a handful of plays where 6 offensive lineman Joseph Noteboom, who's now currently their left tackle, but when they had Big Witt last year, Noteboom was getting on the field as a tight end. So I think that they're still going to sample that from the Rams offense and keep it going here with the Vikings since they do have Branden in the mix. Next up, number 4 sleeper contributor for the Vikings this season, the new guy, Andre Mentz, coming in from the Denver Broncos. Now, he was a 2021 UDFA, and as we alluded to, he made the Broncos 53 last year as a UDFA, which is phenomenal and amazing. And he played and contributed in 6 games last year before he got injured. And he's the type of player that I think that he does have a chance to make the back end of the roster. And the Vikings, as they're shifting from a 4-3 to a 3-4, they only have a handful of guys who have experience as a 3-4 stand stand-up outside linebacker, and that is Mentz's bag. Back at Vanderbilt, he was a 2-year captain, team leader. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. I think that he can come in, play some special teams. Maybe he makes the back end of the roster as a linebacker. Maybe starts on the practice squad. Maybe get some game day elevations going on. But I think that he has a chance. I think that he has enough raw ability and raw talent that some refinement and some more coaching, I think that he'll be good to go, because he has already made an impression on the current Vikings coaching staff at Donatell and company. Because remember, Donatell was in Denver last year as the defensive coordinator for Vic Fangio, was the head coach at that point, and that's the team that Andre Mentz made the 53 as UDFA. So he's already made an impression there. I wouldn't be shocked at all if he moves up the depth chart as training camp and preseason moves along. Lastly, sleeper contributor for the Vikings this year, sticking with the Denver theme. So cornerback Nate Hairston, where the Vikings are searching for whoever's going to take over in the slot. Now, it could be Andrew Booth, who does have some slot skills. It could be Sean Sullivan coming over from the Packers. It could be Nate Hairston coming over from the Denver Broncos. Now, same thing applies here. All the ties with Ed Donatell, and Ed Donatell is a defensive backs coach by trade. So Hairston coming over from the Broncos. I mean, there's a reason why the Vikings could have signed Bryce Callahan. They could have signed Fuller, where they had ties with Ed Donatell and his defense in Denver, but they picked Hairston. Now, Price may have been a part of it, but I think they do see that Hairston could be the best contributor in their role, because he's 6 foot, $195. He has length. He can play on the outside, but he primarily played in the slot in Denver, and he posted a 73.3 overall PFF grade in 2021, as well as a 76 coverage grade. So I wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Hairston ends up being a high-end contributor for the Vikings at cornerback. At minimum, he's probably going to make the roster, and we'll see it and go from there. But that's it. Those are 5 sleeper contributors for the Vikings this season. Let us know your thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Once support the work, put a little something in the Venmo. But till next time, Skull Production Value.